Welcome to Sparks, a SoulFire series dedicated to showcasing leaders who inspire, ignite, and light the way for others. Each month, we highlight someone whose presence, wisdom, and work creates a ripple of impact in their community. I'm your host, Alex, and I'm so glad that you're with us today. Today, we're sharing the story of someone who leads through connection. Kelley is someone who listens, supports, and brings people together. She helps create environments where others feel seen, valued, and empowered to do their best work. Whether through mentorship, culture building, or advocating for frontline teams, her impact reaches far beyond a title. In this conversation, you'll hear her journey, the moments that shaped her, the lessons she's learned, and the perspective that continues to guide the way she leads and serves others. So settle in, take a breath, and let Kelley's story remind you of the power of connection, intentional leadership, and the impact one spark can have on others. Hi, Kelley. How are you?
Alex, I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm so happy that you are joining me today.
Thank you for having me. I'm happy and excited to be here.
Yes. Well, congratulations on being our May Spark. It's so exciting.
Yes, it is. It's an honor, and I am extremely flattered to be here with you today. So thank you.
Yes, we're so glad. And I think just hearing like the person that nominated you, I'm going to tell everyone it's Amy Thompson. For
Not
those that know Amy, we love.
Yes, we do. Thank you, Amy.
Yes, you were like someone that came right to her mind. So you've made an impact on her life, and that's amazing.
Amy has made a really, really big impact on my life, and I think how I show up has a lot to do with what she's done and who she is. So, um, I would say a lot of credit of who I am as a leader is to her. So, yes.
That's amazing. And Amy was our March Spark for various reasons. So, those of you that have listened, thank you. If you've not, you should go back and listen to her episode because it was great. Well, I want to start with something that Amy said about you in her nomination for you and just kind of see how you feel about it. So,
Okay.
she said, Kelley leads in every role she has taken on, even when she wasn't the leader of that team. Her influence has shown that being a leader is not defined by title or position, but by how you show up each and every day for those around you. And then she said, Kelley is a human dot connector. And I want to say this because I put that on our first graphic, week 1 of May, when we introduced you as our Spark. I put Kelley as a human dot connector. And Kelley, you shared it on your LinkedIn. And I went and like was, trolling all the comments because I'm curious, like, ooh. And so many people were like, yes, 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 this describes you. So I want to hear your perspective of that, of you being a human dot connector. Like, what does that mean to you?
Well, I think I'm going to change my title on everything going forward to human dot connector because I've never felt like something describes me more when it comes to people or leadership. And I love it so much. I feel like I could even get a shirt, human dot connector. I wasn't aware that so many people saw that too. It meant a lot to me. All I've ever wanted, and what sticks out to me, not just the human dot connector part, but when she says like leading, when I haven't necessarily been the leader and how I show up, that's the most important thing for me. How I show up continuously, consistently, but the human dot connector part just makes sense because I can find the most random person who has done like this one unique thing, and then I'll meet somebody else who's done it or is about to and connect them, or really just try to like bring people together who I think, you know what, this will be somebody whose journey is similar, or this is somebody whose journey I think can help you, or even just you have the same favorite color. And I think that bringing people that are similar but also different together, um, to create that connection is really, really important. And it's everywhere. It's at work, it's at church, it's at home. It doesn't stop. My husband tells everybody that I have the gift of gab and that I would make friends with a brick wall, where he is probably the quietest person you're ever going to meet. And I think that it just comes down to the fact that there have been times where I didn't have a community or a sense of community around me. And it's really lonely. And I don't ever want anyone else to feel that way. And so I like to get to know people and I like to play 20 questions and ask about them. And I will ask the most random questions and start to really get to know people soon and create a relationship early on, as I'm meeting them in order to be that human dot connector. It's it's really fun. I really love people. I love knowing what makes you think, what makes you tick. But I more than anything, I find so much accomplishment or love, gratitude, a sense of belonging when I know that I've brought people together.
That's amazing. And I think like we talk a lot about community in Soulfire because we have the collective, right? Like that's our
Mhm.
group of people we call the collective and how important community is. So I'm glad you brought that up. And I think it's a different perspective too, because you're saying, like, I didn't have a community at some point in my life, and now I
Mhm.
don't want anyone to feel like that. And so
Yeah.
here I am asking you 20 questions because I want to be your friend, but also I want to help you find your people, right?
Hmm.
That's
Exactly.
amazing.
That's exactly right.
And I think it's such a huge testament, again, that so many people were like, yes, this is exactly who Kelly is. It's so great because I
Hmm.
think sometimes we don't take a moment to think about who we are or how we're impacting other people outside, especially in work, right? Like a lot of things are driven by metrics and certain things. And so you don't stop to think, like, how am I affecting people in a personal way? And so just to have one person say that, human dot connector, and then all those people agree,
Yeah.
it has to feel good, yes?
Yeah. Yes, it feels amazing. It feels like everything that I've wanted or everything that I've worked so hard to accomplish through different things, it's seen and it's valued and it means so much to me that if I make one small impact on one person at the end of my day, the end of my week, the end of my month, the end of my year, more importantly, the end of my life, then it will have been worth living and it'll have all been worth it. And I just want that for everybody. I want everyone to feel like they belong and they have a place and they have a friend. And I don't I don't know why. And it used to be a very practiced nature of, oh, tell me about yourself. Oh, what's your favorite color? Do you prefer a hamburger or a hot dog? If people who have been around me are listening to this, they know the questions. So, Alex, what's your favorite color?
So I used to not have a favorite color. That's very
Ooh,
interesting
hot
because I,
take.
so weird because most people have a favorite color.
Uh huh.
And my kids, even though they were little, they'd be like, "What's your favorite color?" And I'm like, "I don't have a favorite color. I love all colors." And they're like, "That's weird. My teacher needs to know what your favorite color is." And so I started saying green because I do really
Okay.
love green. So green is my favorite color.
Okay. Okay. And do you prefer a hamburger or a hot dog?
I prefer a hamburger.
Ketchup or mustard?
Mustard. I actually loathe ketchup with everything inside of me.
Well, I love that you picked mustard. So, um, do you like chocolate or vanilla?
I like chocolate.
Okay. What's your favorite season?
Fall.
If you sunrise or sunset?
Sunset.
Okay. So we're pretty opposite, but also the same. And so I tend to start conversations when I'm knowing or meeting somebody with like a fun, quick, rapid fire 20 question game that I think is so much fun. And I think that it just helps people kind of relax a little bit. And we're just asking questions. And then it's like, you know, why here? Why do you want to work here? What does coming here mean to you? What does this mean to you? And so I think as you kind of like break those barriers a little bit, and then I tend to remember them. Like, remember that, you have a 12-year-old son and a 14-year-old daughter, and they're in different schools. And, like, I tend to remember those things and try to remember those things so that way I can just be there for people. But also, I just love people. So there's that. So it's kind of easy. But at first, it was a very practiced thing of I'm lonely and I need people. And so, how do I find people that I can vibe with and get along with and talk to. And, you know, and then you sit there and you just kind of look around and you're like, I surely I'm not the only person that
Yeah.
feels this way. And so how do you make a change and how do you make an impact and what can I do about it? And so I started doing things about it and I started connecting people and I started creating networking groups and focusing on different ways for people to come together. And so I feel like it was really helpful and I got a lot of people out of their shells. And I feel like for the first time in my world at work that everybody knows everybody. And we're our own community. And we actually are. Like we actually call it a community. And it's just the most important thing in the world because you never know like what talent somebody has, what like you just never know. It could be a talent, it could be a you know what, I love to dog sit, but I don't want to have a dog. So we dog sit for free. Um, and just like having those connections and building those relationships, and those relationships can turn into lifelong things. And that's what I actually experienced with Amy Thompson. I walked up to her in my orientation class almost 7 years ago and I said, Hi, I'm Kelley. I would really like to get to know you. I've spent my entire life in healthcare and you work in this specialized area that I would love to work in. And we stayed connected. And then a couple years later, she's like, you should go and apply for this job. And then the rest is kind of history. So I kind of applied and got that job and have been where I'm at now for 6 years or so. So yeah.
That's awesome. First of all, I'm obsessed that you ask the most random questions. I love it so much. People are like, where are you from? Do you have kids? Like those are things you
Yeah.
need to know,
Yeah.
but like
Where'd you go to school? What did you major in? Oh, you like all of those things, and those are fine, but they're not the questions that I think that we should be asking. I mean, they can be a minimum requirement, but how are they don't actually create a sense of that sense of community or actually allow you to get to know somebody. So instead you're like, oh, they went to Baylor. Like, oh, they went to Penn State. They have two great little kids. And that's why they have to sneak out at 4 o'clock, to go and like have that balance. And we tend to, as humans, judge without knowing circumstance. And I think that as we break down those barriers and understand more about people, that it allows us more room to love one another.
yes, absolutely. I kept thinking too while you were asking those questions, like, I don't even know how to really say it, but basically, I think a lot of times our identity gets wrapped up in our job or we're a parent or these like
Mm-hmm.
very specific things. And so asking questions like, do you like hamburgers or hot dogs or mustard? Those are so personal to me. Like that's nothing to do with my job, has nothing to do with my how I parent, like none of those things. And again, those things are important because they are a part of who I am, but they're not my sole identity. And so I love that you're calling out those really personal things for people. That's great.
But I mean, your soul identity also isn't just I'm a senior manager or I'm a vice president or I'm a director. None of those things are also our full identity. And it's not just who I am at work and who I am at home and who I am personally, but all of those things make me who I am. And so unless you know it all, and I know that that is a very unpopular opinion because people are like, there's a separation. Yeah, there is. And there can be a separation, but there's also grace and kindness and love and community and people. And we have to show up that way. And I think that we tend to forget how to do that. And I will never forget how to show up that way again
That's
or allow
awesome.
those around me to do that. So,
Well, and I think that's a big reason why people feel seen and heard by you because you ask the questions, you want to get to know them, you remember the things, and that's really like how I would want to feel seen is like you actually know who I am. Like you don't just know how that I'm Alex and I work for SoulFire. You know that
I
I have
and
like
now I know
preference
that
for
you
you.
loathe ketchup.
I
Yeah.
loathe it so much. It's so
Yeah.
bad.
Yeah. I mean,
I mean, that's not
I'm
normal.
not a
Most
fan
people
either.
love
I prefer
ketchup.
mustard. So yeah, I mean, see, there we go. Yeah.
Best friends, best friends.
Hmm.
Well, I want to kind of pivot because we've talked about you, how you are and how you got there in your community and asking your questions, but I really want to hear about your career journey too, like your journey through leadership. And because I think it's important that we touch on being a leader does not mean that you have a title or a specific leader role. Like all of my degrees are in leadership, so I have all this leadership theory in my brain. And I wrote a paper about followership once and how important it is to leadership to be a follower as well. But I've also talked a lot about being a leader in a way that your title doesn't show, if that makes sense. Like I was an
Yeah.
academic advisor for so long and in higher education, and I had to prove for my dissertation, I had to prove how an academic advisor is a leader. Like, and that's exactly what I talked about. Like, just because I'm not a director or a senior VP or whatever leader title insert here, I'm still leading students. Like, that's still part of my role. Like, we all have people in our lives that we're leading, whether that's in our job, in our home, in our church. And so I think it's great to talk about that. So I want to hear about your journey, but also your perspective on leadership as you go through that journey.
Leadership and followership. That's interesting. I would love to read that paper. I actually haven't led a team now in quite some time. And at first I used to really miss it and be like, oh, I miss leading a team. And but I'm also at a phase in my life with two little kids where maybe that's just not what is right now. I think that I'm starting to feel like it is the journey that I want to go back down now that my children are older. They're going to be starting in the same school. So, no longer driving across town. So I think that it gets easier, but I've always worked in healthcare, hospitals, clinic administration. And then I got laid off and whew, it was rough. And I had a 9-month-old baby at the time. So kind of took a step back and was like, is this what I want to keep doing? And actually, I think this is what I want to do. And so I took few steps backwards in my career. And I came into Walmart as a recruiter. All of this is on my LinkedIn profile. So came into Walmart as a recruiter, which everyone's like, that makes perfect sense for you. Yes, thank you. So came into
Talk to me about it.
recruiting, um, had applied for a job that I didn't get, applied for another job on the same team that I didn't get. And then they reached out to me and they're like, we have an opening and we'd love for you to apply. And I was like, oh, I'm 7 months pregnant and it's in the middle of COVID. So they were like, yes, we are aware. It's okay. We would still like you to consider applying. So I applied and I went to work on that team and it was a really great team and I loved it. And then, Amy Thompson, again, she sent me this job and she's like, this is everything you've ever done wrapped up into one and you should consider it. And so I reached out to the hiring manager and it was great. And it was the perfect job. And I stayed in that job for a couple, 2.5 years or so. And I absolutely loved it. But at that time, I also realized I needed to do something different. So I went into compliance and focused on risk testing and monitoring. So to learn from going from like the vision side of the business to also learning the pharmacy side of the business as a non-pharmacist. How do I do that? And as somebody who is not in a place to step back into a, a store position with my children at home. So spent a year doing that and then had an opportunity to come to where I am now and couldn't say no. I work for a leader who's been with the company for 36 years and our leaders have been with the company for a very long time and they're just the most amazing people who lead with intention and heart. And so if I think about my leadership journey and having not led teams now, probably since that second job at Walmart, and that was a little different. Those we had like temporary associates that helped us, vendors, and so I think as I think about my leadership journey and what I've done, I also was asked to step into a volunteer position for the health and wellness community. And so at that time, we had a couple like little small things we would do here and there. And I decided, you know what, let's explode this. I need that community. And I needed it during this time of my life. And it wasn't necessarily because I was lonely at work, but I'm also like lonely at home. I come home, I pick up the kids, I get them to a bath, I go to sleep, I repeat, rinse, repeat, rinse, repeat. And I needed it to feel fun. I needed to be excited and not just about the work I'm doing, but about the people around me. And so I 100% like threw everything that I had into creating that community and leading, not necessarily with like leadership, but with intentionality about what do the people around us need right now? Like, and do they also need community? Do they also need mentorship? Do they need, what is it? And so we took a small mentor program that probably had about 100 associates in it to growing it to where it is today. We have about 400 associates across like 42 groups or so across the United States. So of all levels. And it's been leading through areas of I don't want to give up. Like I'm not the only person that needs this. And I think that it shows because if you have 400 people in
Yeah.
2.5 years that have grown into that, that's saying that we need it. We want it. We're hungry for connection. And so my leadership has always been through influence, not authority. Influence of how we show up and remain consistent in being there for those around us.
Bravo. That's amazing to grow the mentorship program. That's huge. Yes, human dot connector. Okay, great. We are showing that in everything that we're doing. That's amazing. So, cheers for
Thank
you.
you. Thank you.
Um,
I will say, like,
yes.
and I know it wasn't just me alone. I do have to say that. Like, there is a group of people, of amazing humans around me that help me and believe in me. And anytime I'm like, we should do this, they're like, oh no, she's got another idea. So, yes, but when I have those ideas, people are willing to show up and help me.
It's
Yeah.
because you've created this amazing community for yourself and for others too, which is great. I love that you said you lead by influence because that's really what I believe too. I think it's an influence relationship between people. And I think you do that through your dot connecting. First of all, getting to know people, like you take charge and say like I'm going to get to know you and I'm going to help you meet these people. So that's amazing. But I love that you have that string through your career journey as well. Just even because I think what I want more than anything is for people to know that titles are great and people work really hard to get into some of those roles, but I want people to know that you don't always have to have the title to be a leader. And so thank you for sharing your journey with us on that because that was perfect.
Thank you. It's just what it is. And I will say, like, if I think about the leaders that are around me or who I see today, like for example, my current leader who 36 years, he's an amazing human. And the people that are there above us, like they don't focus on that. That it's never like, hi, I am Kelley Drebes and I am the leader of the world.
Right.
It's it's never like that because they they believe in their people. And so it's, hi, I'm Kelley Drebes and I help lead the world, which my husband says that I can't do. I can't be in charge of the world, but
What does he know?
I know. So I feel like I could streamline it like Chick-fil-A, you know? So
You
that's
could.
all.
You could. Take Sundays off. It's fine. Like everything's great. Oh, I love it. Oh, okay, well, I want to pivot to things outside of work. Like what makes you tick, Kelley? What do you enjoy doing outside of work? Like what are fun things you like to do?
Yeah, this is where everybody's going to find out that I'm kind of not a lot of fun. I really enjoy reading. There are a couple things that I do for myself religiously, no matter what, and that's mani pedis or keeping up with the blonde in my hair. So I will say I won't give up on those things. But I'm a big reader. So I have friends and they'll be like, "Oh, I'm so sorry this is taking so long." I'm like, "I have a book." And they'll be like, "Are you going to be okay?" And I'm like, "I have a book." I love to read. I've been that way since I was little. My mom said that I was reading the encyclopedia when I was like 4 years old. So I love to read. I love to spend time with my kids. They are children, so I am allowed to complain about them, and they will and do drive me crazy from time to time. But I'm a play mom. Like, you want to play? Let's go play. You want to throw the baseball? Let's go throw the baseball. And not all the time. There are times where I'm like, no, not right now, not perfect by any means, but I love to spend time with my children. I love to travel with my children. I love to take them to sporting events and concerts and spend time with my husband. And I love family, and then I have a really close group of friends that have been brought to me through community in one way or another, be it work or daycare with our kids. And so I have a really, really close group of friends, and I love to be with them. And if it's just laying on the couch watching romance movies like we did last night while our kids played in the backyard, or if it's cooking Sunday dinners together, which we do as well. Yeah, I think it's just I love those things. I love to be surrounded by people that love me or love my family, and not because they feel like they have to, but because they want to. And so even if you've ever sat in a church pew on a Sunday and just looked around and just kind of felt a little emotional about, wow, all these people love me and they love us because they want to. I think it's those are the things. But honestly, more than any of that, I mean, I love to read a book. So I love to read a book. I like Star Wars. I love the color blue. But I think, yeah, I just like to be around people that make me feel good. So at the end of it, no matter what, it's that.
That's so good. Okay, so you
Kind of
like to
boring.
read. That's
Yeah.
okay. Boring is
Yeah.
okay. Like,
Kind of boring.
it's okay.
Mhm.
Um, so reading. Tell me like what's your favorite book, or do you have a book recommendation you can throw out there?
I mean, okay. So actually, oh, you know what? Actually, I have it right here. That's so random. But I knew I did. A Raisin in the Sun.
Okay.
I don't know. This is probably one of my favorite books. You will find in here highlights and more like in captions. I love I love this book more than anything.
What about the
Uh,
book do you love? Like, is there one thing that just really stands out to you every time?
I think it's just like they're not like in the book, like the family, they're not asking for much. I don't know how if you've ever read it. If not, then
I
maybe I should
haven't,
mail
but
you.
now I'm going to.
Maybe I feel like I should mail you mine with my notes in it. There are things in here, and it feels like there can be some generational disappointment, but I think that more than anything, like the family, like they're not asking for much. They're just asking for room. Like they just want room to dream and to live and to be seen. And I think that maybe that's why I love it so much because it's they just want that. And I think that we forget a lot of times about that. We can't be reduced to one thing. I think it reminds me of the book more than anything that love survives underneath everything else. So but that's one of my favorite books. To Kill a Mockingbird by Harper Lee is also one of my favorite books. Time to Think by Nancy Klein. I read that in a book club at work, and that one changed my life. I love it. And I mean, I could go on and on, but I read anything and everything. Some of it I won't say on here.
That's fine.
Yeah, but I mean, I love a good book. So yes.
Good. I love that. I go through phases. I will spend like weeks reading and read all the books, and then I'm like, okay, I need to focus my time on something else because I'm doing
Yeah.
nothing but reading. And then I went through school and got and wrote my dissertation, which took like felt like a decade, and
Hmm.
like a whole year after that. I remember there was like a time period where I was just like getting through the red tape, like submit the paper and wait, submit the paper and wait. And so I would read and read and read and read. And then like a whole year after I finished the dissertation, I was like, my brain is dead. Like I
Yeah.
can't read
You
or
don't want to
write or
read
do
anymore.
anything.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't want to write anything. I didn't want to read
Yeah.
anything.
Yeah.
But we are 2 years post that now. So I've read a few books since then. But I love when people share their love of reading. Like Amy talked about her books too. And it just for me, like motivational books are great, self-help books are great, but I think like fiction just makes me like use a part of my brain from my childhood. Like you just have all of that curiosity and creativity and you
Mm-hmm.
know?
Yeah. Oh,
And
yeah.
I
Trust me, I know.
yes.
Yeah.
Oh, I know you know because you do it a
Yeah.
lot too. It's so exciting
Yeah.
though. And you just
I
like
do.
think
Yeah.
about like these worlds and like you develop the character in your brain and what you think they look like. And then the movie comes on, you're like, that's not what that person looks like. Why did you choose that person?
Exactly. Then you go back to like read the description in the book and you're like, no, you got that wrong. Like,
Yes.
yeah. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. 100%.
Totally.
Yeah. It's something too, like at home, my husband, not a big reader. But then like my kids, like my boys are both always like, can we read a book? And I'm like, yes, of course we
Yes.
can read a book. Or can I have money for the book fair? Absolutely. Like, yes. How much you need? You need all the money? Here you go. Like, yeah. So, yeah.
That's so good. Thank you for sharing that. Okay, we've talked a lot about leadership and life and connection and community and love, and I'm obsessed with all of it because this was good. I'm really glad that we were able to do this today.
Me too. Thank you.
Um, yes. Okay, I do want to ask you a question that we ask people, and it's something that I think we all struggle with sometimes in our life. And so, if somebody out there is struggling to figure out what their spark is, or maybe they don't see their strength in themselves, what advice would you give them or what would you tell them?
Ooh, that's a good question. I would say no matter what, to be authentic to yourself, like not to give in, to stay authentic, to know, like, you know, yes, if I go and take this job or I go and do that, but it's going to kill my work life balance, is it worth it? And being comfortable, like being authentic, staying authentic to yourself and comfortable in your own skin. And sometimes it takes a little bit to figure it out. And also, I think it's okay to remember that it can change. What that spark is and what it is and how it makes you who it's going to change in each season of your life. And that's okay too. Um, but more than anything, just stay true to yourself above all else and always live by the values that mean the most to you. And then everything else will fall into place. And if it doesn't, it's not what is meant to be in your life.
Amen. Yes. That was, yep, snaps. Okay. If you're listening and you can't see me, I'm snapping because yes, Queen Kelly. Okay. That's amazing. Be yourself. Absolutely. I think it's important too to surround yourself with people like Kelly who are going to ask you 1,000 questions and force you to talk to people because I think even if you're an introvert, like that's the hardest time to find friends and find community,
I don't
you
know an
know?
introvert. Yeah, I don't give them an opportunity.
You're like,
I don't
who?
know
I'm
any.
nope.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's important, right? Like it's important. And so I think finding people in your life who can tell you what your spark is or help show that. And I think that happened here with you, Kelly, like the human dot connector thing, like that was really, a pull out for that.
Yeah, no longer gift of gab, but the human dot connector, like I said, when you see me next, I'll have a t-shirt. So
Yes. Okay, if anyone in our collective does t-shirts, get one to Kelly ASAP.
I,
Like she needs one.
please, yes, please. Medium would be
Human
great.
dot connector. Medium, we love it. Okay.
Favorite color is blue. So,
Yes. Yes. Okay. And she also likes mustard. So just in case
hmm
anyone needs to know that. I don't,
yeah,
there's not that many, side note, not that many people who love mustard. Like there's just not.
I, I feel like they're missing out, but that's okay. Like we all like our own thing. So missing out just, I would be missing out without mustard. You can absolutely not like mustard and
Yes.
I'll still like you. So,
I agree. Okay, yes. If you like ketchup, just because I loathe it doesn't mean I can't be your
uh,
friend. Like I still will love
right,
you, but I can't
right.
eat ketchup, so
We
that's
have to we have to have balance.
that's
So,
okay. Balance. Well, where can people find you?
well, on LinkedIn, they can find me on LinkedIn. I would love for them to find me there or follow me there or Instagram too. So
Perfect.
at Kelley Drebes. So, but yeah, absolutely. And that's how you say my last name. I know it doesn't look
Drebes.
like it. Yeah, it's Drebes. It took me a long time to learn how to say it. So, yes,
Kelley
but
Drebes. Okay. And we
yes.
will put your link to your LinkedIn and Instagram in our show notes as well. And for SoulFire, people can find us at thesoulfire.com. You can find us on Facebook and LinkedIn at the SoulFire Collective and on Instagram at the SoulFire Co. Thank you so much for joining us for this episode of Sparks. And if Kelley's story resonated with you today, we hope you'll carry that spark forward, whether that's through the way you lead, the way you support others, or the way that you show up in your own community. Until next time, keep lighting the way for others. Thank you so much, Kelley.
Thank you, Alex.
We'll see you next time, guys.